Hello everyone, hope you're doing all right today. So it's been a while since I've done a book review, and lucky for us, I've done a little bit of reading during this little little hiatus from making full-length videos here on the channel. So what book will I be reviewing today? I'll be doing Patient Zero, a Joe Ledger novel by Jonathan Maberry. So this is actually a reread for me because, well, I want to get back into it. When it comes to thrillers, this is one of the best series I've ever read. I mean, gosh, it's really to say that it's perfect. I'm comfortable saying that, to be honest. So let's get into it. What's the series about? This Baltimore cop, Joe Ledger, who used to be in the Army, is recruited by this mysterious man, government official named Mr. Church, who goes by a bunch of different names, and he heads this new department called the Department of Military Sciences that answers only to the president. So let's get into our hero himself, Joe Ledger. Who is he? Baltimore cop, a jiu-jitsu expert, former Army Ranger, like I said. But what makes him special is that when he was younger, he had witnessed certain atrocities committed on his girlfriend, who later committed suicide. Because of that, he has rage issues and sort of like personality disorder. Dissociative identity disorder. However, he's actually conscious of everything. These are personalities that he's conscious of, that he can control most of the time. And this makes him a great candidate for Mr. Church's department, his new organization, because like the NSA and CIA, they investigate enemies, terrorists outside of the U.S. usually. But instead of going after the more traditional terrorist groups, they actually investigate, I would say, groups that kind of go into the sci-fi, horror, fantasy genres. For example, Patient Zero itself, they are investigating this pathogen that infects people and turns them into basically zombies. However, the way that it's explained is that basically this disease shuts down organs that it doesn't need for in its host in order to keep infecting other people. It brings down the heart rate down to barely detectable. Blood flows there, but it's very minimal. The brain, of course, is working. That's what keeps the body going. So, of course, you take out the brain and you take out the host. So it's that kind of thing where the way that it's all described is it's almost realistic, but it's not, if that makes sense. And, okay, so you hear about Joe Ledger. Amazing guy. Not only is he a badass and kind of crazy, but he's also got a great sense of humor. He really takes things to heart, especially when it comes to the country and his own men. If they're in danger, if something happens to them, he very takes it personally. He's very passionate in that way. And he's hilarious. Of course, you're following him most of the time, so it's his own inner monologue. Just the kind of the sense of humor is amazing. When I started rereading this series, I wanted to grab Joe Ledger, the character, and just hug him and tell him how much I missed him. He's that amazing of a protagonist. And then, of course, you have one of my other favorite characters, Mr. Church. Mr. Church is he's just the best boss to work for. He's he's totally efficient, reliable. He is the definition of, the ends justify the means. You can tell this guy has done a lot of dirt to protect his country. Just everything about him, very mysterious, very very reserved individual. Not so much as a chuckle, like maybe Joe will say something very funny and he'll smile or whatever. Really play stuff close to the chest. I love the guy. You have all the enemies. These enemies are so wonderfully diabolical. You just can't wait to see them get destroyed. So in the first book, you have Sebastian Galt, who is this pharmaceutical mogul. he's responsible for funding the designing of this pathogen, this zombie pathogen. And he is aided by the leaders of this terrorist group, which is basically this guy called the Fighter, El Mujahid, and his wife Amira, who's kind of known as the princess or the witch. She's kind of like the scientist that develops it. El Mujahid is he is the radical, very radical terrorist. She's, of course, believes in the same thing. And the two of them, the Fighter and his wife, are manipulating Sebastian Gall. Sebastian Gall is also manipulating them. You see a lot of back and forth going on, kind of like a battle of wits between them. And you see this a lot with other villains in the Joel Ledger series, is that they may work together, but they also are trying to undermine each other at the same time. Because, of course, they're very duplicitous individuals. They're all just deliciously evil in their own ways. Sebastian Gall, just total greed. He's willing to kill millions of people to get this pathogen out there so he can make money off it. El Mujahid and Amira, they are just these devoted fanatics that almost on the Joker's level just want to see the world burn, but they want to see themselves rise above it like a phoenix. Fantastic. You get a lot of the action's amazing. The way it's described, Jonathan Maberry himself is he's no stranger to martial arts. So the way that Joe's described, taking out an opponent, whether it's a zombie or a soldier, it's okay, he takes this knife and he attacks the zombie and he'll, twist his arm, then he'll get him in the back of the neck so it separates the stem or whatever, and it kills the zombie. Just it's wonderful. And his teammates are all just these awesome individuals that you see them kind of come and go throughout the series. There's a couple that tend to stick around, but you'll see some of them will actually get killed in other books. I won't say who, but it goes to show you that some of these characters are not going to stay forever. They're not just going to keep coming. Some of them will. We're going to unfortunately have to say goodbye to them. And just the atrocities committed. I mean, the first mission with Joe and his new team in the DMS, what they witness is so horrifying. And just you see the emotion that they all have to deal with, that they realize this is why they were selected to work for this department, because they're the ones that can handle it, because they've been victims of atrocity before and they've gone through it. So, when they see it, they can handle it better than, I guess, a normal, regular soldier can, if that makes sense. God, I just remember that first scene. It's so traumatizing even to read. You see just the kind of evil that this department has to combat. It's pure genius written military thriller with elements of horror and fantasy and sci-fi and plenty of action. A lot of gripping suspense. Wonderful, wonderful heroes. Amazing villains. And a whole bunch of shoot 'em up in between. So check this out if you are a fan of thrillers. If you are a fan of thrillers, this is a must read. This is literally if you this is like the Agatha Christie of what Agatha Christie is to fans of mystery thriller. Jonathan Maberry is to military thriller, and you definitely have to check this out. If you are also a fan of thriller, check out my own collection of crime thrillers at my website, jamesmichaelsbooks.com. They're all available. You click on the books, it'll hyperlink you to Amazon, where you will learn more about my own thrillers. And also, of course, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, share, comment, everything that will boost this algorithm so that I can become huge. I would appreciate that. And that's it. I will see you guys later. Bye.